It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. I'm Jeff Grub. I write over on GamesBeat.com, and I do Grub Snacks here on Giant Bomb. I am ready to talk to you about said snacks. Of course, this is a show where we talk about video games, what's happening, news, rumors, I guess. I don't know. We come in here. I got a bunch of stuff to talk to you about, and then you ask questions. It's a pretty simple show. I like it. I hope you enjoy it. All right, next on the list, I just wrote down Chrono Cross. And yeah, Chrono Cross remaster is almost certainly happening. There's just too much smoke for there not to be fire. This is one of those. I haven't heard directly about it, but I've heard from so many people. Like there's been so many people reaching out for the last few weeks about this that it's like, okay, I'll put it on the show. We'll say, yeah, it's probably happening. No big surprise. But again, this is not coming directly from me or me confirming it 100%, but it's me saying that it's like based on the way these things happen, you could sort of spot patterns and be like, okay, that one's kind of like people getting, too big for their britches, people getting ahead of themselves, people imagining things, and then sort of hearing the echo chamber repeat that stuff back to them. This doesn't seem to be one of those cases. This seems to be a case of, oh, there is something happening here. Now, when do we hear about it? I think there's a chance that this is something that's going to be at the Game Awards. Chrono Trigger's, massively popular. I would imagine that if Jeff Keighley was talking to Square Enix and they're like, hey, we have Chrono Cross remaster, how does that sound? Like he would probably jump on that. We've talked about how Jeff Keighley's things work in the past, where if you are a certain tier of game, if you are a certain recognizable entity, you will almost certainly get into the show free of charge, and then everyone else kind of has there's a menu they could choose from and be like, hey, I'll pay that much to get featured in the show, and it's like a 6-figure number and higher. This is obviously a situation where it's Square Enix. Jeff Keighley would be like, hey, just come on in, let's show this thing. That makes some sense to me. All right, from Casual. How are you feeling about Nintendo's 2022 output? This is actually not the first question, but I'll scroll down after this. Also, how are you feeling in general this crisp Thursday? It's actually not too crisp here. It is like going to be 70 degrees today in Colorado and Denver. I'm very frustrated by this. I am wanting that fall weather at the very least, but I'd happily take the snow. I've been looking up lift passes for the mountains because I know they got a ton of snow in the mountains. We just haven't got it over here. And I'm like, maybe I'll just go snowboarding one of these days, and that'll be I'll get my fix that way. I think Nintendo's 2022 output looks fantastic, right? I mean, if Zelda hits, it's going to be a really good year for them because they have Kirby, they have the Pokemon games, Arceus, and early in the year. Yeah, Arceus early in the year, the first 3D Kirby platforming game. Ubisoft is working on, I guess some of these things are like third-party partners and stuff like, external teams. But they have Mario plus Rabbids Space Battles. I forget what it's called. It's got a pretty good year coming up. And then there's stuff that they haven't announced, like Metroid Prime remaster, please, not remake. Metroid Prime 1 remaster. And then, yeah. If Zelda comes out in the fall or whatever, whenever it might come out, then it's going to be a really stellar year for them, I think. From Looter Jennings, what went into the decision to add Santa Claus into Battlefield 2042 aside from chasing Fortnite and Call of Duty's trends? Did they actually think it would go over well in a grimdark game? Yeah, I don't know. Is the game like that grimdark? I know that there's some elements. I mean, I know it's like climate apocalypse is the background setting of that game, but you are riding on a wingsuit into tornadoes and stuff and being silly. Like they have their foot in both worlds, right? I don't know. It's tough. They absolutely are trying to chase that skin game, which just sounds like a creepy serial killer thing. But yeah, that skin game. The problem is like you're not going to be able to do it as well as Fortnite. I think it was Austin Walker said that Fortnite's like plastic. It's like Funko Pops. It could be anything. Like you could just mold it into anything, put it in the game, and it's going to fit. Call of Duty, Call of Duty's pulling that off, not as well as Fortnite. And then Battlefield, and especially Halo. Halo's going to have a real problem with this, where you're going to have to make, you can't just put Santa Claus into Halo. You'd have to make it a Santa Claus armor set. And that's like that takes like a lot of work. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be exactly what all those Santa Claus fans out there really want, right? So it's going to be tough. But yeah, it's about money, it's about longevity, it's about keeping these games relevant and making a lot over time. And I don't even know if Santa Claus is even premium content. Maybe it is, but it's still about keeping people interested in coming back and expressing themselves and feeling like they have a voice in the game, and that creates that linked engagement that lasts for a long time. If you want to hang out with me, it's Jeff Grub on Twitter. I post all my stuff there. Always self-promoting, even though I hate it. I do it. You got to do it. So we'll find out if I'm ever doing anything, including this show. And thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Grub Snacks is one of my favorite things to do every week. It's I have dreams about doing it. Now, normally that's dreams about like showing up late and getting in trouble and having stress about that. But I still really like doing it. And yeah, I'm so grateful to everyone showing up every week and having these conversations with me. So let's get out of here. Let's wrap up. I'm gonna hit the outro button. I'm gonna turn this thing off, and I'm gonna go get something to eat, and you should too. All right, everybody. Until next week, have a good one. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.